Rahim. Welcome back. It's 8:43 a.m. You're with me, Julie Ali, on News and Views. Please let us have your thoughts on what makes one an African. You and I, third generation Indians, Muslims, I don't know. What is it? The color of your skin? Is it the language you speak? Should you be speaking African language to identify as an African? What are your thoughts? What makes an African? It is Africa Day. We'd love to hear from you. Please do send your message on our WhatsApp line 061 766 0355. Right now we have Qari Ziyaad Patel online. He is the trustee and international projects coordinator at Imdaad Foundation. We're going to talk a little bit about the work they do and the types of challenges that they face as an organization when they go out into Africa, into all of rural situations, how they cope under those very extreme circumstances. But also importantly, to talk about his song titled Africa, which we played out twice this morning already. Qari Ziyaad Patel, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the program.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sister Julie, thank you so much for the opportunity on Africa Day.
Lovely to have you on the show. And you know what? For the first time, I really applied my mind listening to the lyrics of that song. And it's powerful. What motivated you and how did you come up with the song?
So subhanAllah, from my very young days, I was a very, very passionate African. I was part of the African Congress Youth League, right. When I was in school days. And I always had that African part to me. And as a young child, I would read a lot of books regarding, the Zulu kingdom, etc., etc. And, growing up in KwaZulu-Natal, with a very, very rich African culture, a very rich African heritage. It was quite intriguing for me, alhamdulillah. But what also surprised me when I studied a bit more and I found out that, when you look at different African cultures across the African continent, there are so many similarities between Muslims and the African culture, or the Sunnah and the African culture. There are so many similarities. For example, we sit on the eat, it's Sunnah to sit on the eat, but they sit on the floor and eat.
Right.
And in many of the African cultures, that's their norm, they sit on the floor and eat. It is a Sunnah to use our hands to eat. And in many African cultures, they would use their hands to eat. And I felt very compelled at that time that I needed to raise this something in an album, which is dedicated to Africa. And this is where we come from. We owe it to the African continent. So this is our home. This is where we are. We are more African than anything else. And I'm very, 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 very proud to be an African, part of the African continent. This is where we are. And alhamdulillah, we have been blessed with all the beauty around us. There's an amazing spirit. There's an amazing atmosphere. There's an amazing ambience to the African continent. So alhamdulillah, I penned my thoughts with that song. The song was probably written by myself. It was written in 2003. And alhamdulillah, from A to Z, the entire lyrics, the entire melody, etc., was done by myself in 2003. I was much younger those days. And I thoroughly enjoyed that album. The entire album, Children of Africa, right, was a nasheed album with a full-fledged on African flavor. And alhamdulillah, that album went far and wide. And many political leaders across the spectrum of Africa had got copies of those albums in those days. And they had contacted me. And they had also, congratulated me and commended me on that piece of work which we had done, Children of Africa, because simply all I was trying to do was to show the similarities between the African cultures and Islam. And alhamdulillah, I think we hit it spot on, alhamdulillah.
Shukr, and you are truly African in every sense of the word. Am I right? And what does Africa Day mean for you?
Yes, undoubtedly. And I would say our spirit, our DNA, everything is African, alhamdulillah. We are proud to be African. Whether we can venture up to Europe, Asia, wherever it may be in the world. And alhamdulillah, we do travel quite a bit. So for me, yes, we are very, very, very passionate Africans, very, very proud Africans. And alhamdulillah, this is where we are, mashallah.
All right. We are running out of time, unfortunately. So very quickly, are you guys really hard at work, more so since COVID-19 has, put the world in a tailspin? unbelievable tailspin. Does it mean you guys are harder at work trying to put food on everyone's tables?
So yes, the African continent is a priority for us at the Imdaad Foundation. I mean, ever since the inception of the organization, Africa has always been a great priority for us. We've got offices in Kenya, we've got offices in Congo. I mean, as we speak this morning, our team are busy with the volcano in Goma. So anything which happens on the African continent, and alhamdulillah, many international organizations from across the globe look at Imdaad Foundation as an implementing partner for the project on the African continent. So that makes us a very, very, very serious relief player here on the African continent. And this is our home, and we want to have a strong humanitarian footprint on this very continent. And alhamdulillah, the Imdaad Foundation is achieving just that. Alhamdulillah.
That's where we leave it. What a pleasure to be talking with you this morning. Go well and continue the amazing work that you guys do at, obviously, Imdaad. Till the next time, Assalamu alaikum to you.
Jazakallah khairan wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
My Lord, show